IPMNation.com.
Hello, this is Jeremy Morse.
And this is Kevin Schurman. And you're listening to Local Outbreak.
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPMNation.com. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We are here at the studio as we record every Tuesday night at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. Funky little gift shop and art gallery, and definitely support your local business is very, very important. The studio in downtown Laconia, thestudio.com. I'm sorry, thestudionh.com is the website if you want to check it out online, and very appreciative to Melissa for giving us a place to do the show every week. And our guest, before we get to the guest, also our sponsor, we have, I just woke up, literally, Central NH Events. If you need a DJ for your event, go to centralnhevents.com. Mr. Tim Martin does a great job, centralnhevents.com. And we have our guests this week are a couple guys I haven't seen in a long time, Kevin Schurman and Jeremy Morse. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Hi, Matt. Great.
You used to be in a little band called Minus Chad back in the day.
True. By the day, I mean several years ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
But it's good to have you guys on the show because, I was always a big fan of the band and of the songwriting. Kevin, I still to this day tell people I think you're one of the best songwriters I've personally ever known.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So always a big fan, and I guess you guys are thinking about kind of getting things rolling again or doing something.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I think we both split, and have done side projects in his case, and I had some babies in my case. But for me, anyways, it's a void that I need to fill by getting out there and writing again.
Right.
And I've been playing with him since I was 12.
Yeah. You guys have played together a long time. What have you been doing, Jeremy, in terms of music?
Well,
you've been kind of active, right?
I'm somewhat active. I should be much more active. I have a regular gig with the Lakes Region Big Band. That's at Millie's in Manchester every week.
Nice.
And that's a great time. I have another swing group called Swing a Cat, which is old-timey vocal harmony swing stuff. It's really fun. That's only a few times a year. We play not super often. And then I've had a couple small combos come and go. And I'm always playing with people like Kevin for fun once in a while. So always,
cool.
Try to play a lot.
Well, you guys are going to play live for us tonight, so this is great. So, what do you guys want to play to start the show? What are you going to start out with?
I'm going to start out with a new song that I wrote 2 nights ago.
Oh wow!
It doesn't have a name yet, but it starts out with a G chord, so we could just call it G chord.
All right. Are you guys going to play this together, or is it just you?
Yep.
All right, great. So Kevin and Jeremy are going to play this together. So this is very, very new, a world premiere. This is G chord. You're on Local Outbreak on IPMNation.com.
I would like to sing when no one comes. You and I won't get to choose, and I don't know my life. It's not left out. You are yours and I'm not one for me. You get what you want, but you can't stay long. You and I side ride, you know I miss raining. Where the dream goes walks you through the dreams. And you and I won't barely be holding. Once a while you come back for the real. I would like to live.
Great song, Matt.
That was a great song. What is it? What is it called?
Apparently, it's Mr. Davis's glasses.
Mr. Davis's glasses. It's evolving.
It
the
may
song
change.
titles are evolving.
We haven't filed with the government yet, so it's still up in the air.
If you can avoid filing with the government, it's better.
Oh, okay.
Don't
And
even
then
get
it'll
them-
allow the freedom to change the name as many times as we want.
Yeah,
Correct.
Don't even get them involved. Is what I say.
All right.
We're with you.
All right. So we have Kevin Schurman and Jeremy Morse with us tonight on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. And it's been, how long has it been since Minus Chad was together? I mean, it's been years. That's how I met you guys originally, of course.
Yeah, I think Minus Chad basically concluded in maybe the 06 or 07 because I went off to study at Plymouth State University
Yeah.
about that time, and I think that's about the time we kind of all.
Yeah, I think I moved out to Portland, Maine that year too, and it was very quick.
Right.
We did a show and it just wasn't happening anymore, and everybody just needed to go out and do their own thing.
Yeah.
So we had been doing it we met you when we were 18 years old.
Yeah.
We were still in high school, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And now why did you go to Portland?
I just woke up with just an urge to get the hell out of what
Seemed
I
like
was
a
doing.
cool place
Yeah.
at the time.
And I had an opportunity to fall into a job and a living situation there, and
Yeah.
it seemed like the right thing to do at that time. And it was a very cool city. The music was really neat down there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really good scene. They've always had a good scene there. I'm not nearly as familiar with it as I used to be. I used to be pretty familiar with the Portland scene. But did you continue to play music when you moved there? Or
Yeah, I did a lot of writing there. I had absolutely nobody that I knew. It was just me. I lived. I had a roommate that I barely knew, so I just kind of holed up in my room and did a lot of songwriting, and then I checked out the bar scene and met some musicians out there too. So.
Yeah. Did you play out while you were there?
No, I never did. I haven't played out again since Minus Chad. Really.
Wow, no kidding.
Yep, this is literally the first time I've played since then.
And so a lot's changed for you, of course. You got married. You've got 2 kids now, like we were talking about.
Yep.
Did you? I'm always interested in this kind of thing. These life changes that people go through. Did you stop playing out and kind of pull back from that because you wanted to start a family, or was it kind of the other way around? Or
No,
or does one even have anything to do with the other necessarily?
it really doesn't. It's a coincidence that it kind of all happened at the same time. But
Yeah.
for me, I went through a very I moved back from Portland. I was in a better place mentally than when I was doing a lot of writing.
Yeah.
I really had nothing to write about. I just felt very stifled creatively. I was getting very frustrated with the process.
Yeah.
You can only sit down and play a chord for so long before you just want to throw your guitar. And
Sure.
it was becoming an unpleasant experience for me.
Interesting.
And I just put it down. I'd still jam with Jeremy from time to time, but I met my wife. She gave me a haircut because when I feel like something needs to change in my life, I cut my hair for some reason.
Yeah.
And then, we dated for a while, and we ended up getting married and having kids. And she's always been very supportive of music and encouraged me to go out and do it. But I was just not ready to get back out there. And
Interesting,
so frustrated with my writing
Yeah.
that I wouldn't really do anything with it.
Was it a case of because you were in a good place? Because obviously positive things were happening for you with meeting your wife and whatnot. I mean, or the woman who would become your wife. Did that have something to do with the stifling? Because I know some people can't write when they're
Absolutely.
when they're happy. It sounds funny to say it that way, but
I was at Jeremy's house a couple nights ago, and we literally just had this conversation. Is that I have a very hard time writing when there's no angst
yeah,
to write about.
yeah,
And I couldn't kind of get out of that funk. And then this sounds morbid, but what really stemmed me back into songwriting is that I had a couple of people in my life that weren't close to me, but I knew of that had died, and I started thinking about death a lot, and I'm terrified of death, and that
yeah,
really stemmed. That's something to write about.
yeah. There you go.
So that's what broke it open for me again.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, how long ago was that? Was that recent or?
It was a couple months ago.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that was pretty
So
recent. then,
pretty
yeah.
recent.
Yeah, yeah. And Jeremy, have you always been consistently pretty active, or because you've got a lot going on musically?
Well, I
here?
have. I'm kind of a part-time musician these days, which is
Yeah.
too bad. But I went to school and studied music because I really wanted to do more music in my life.
Yeah.
And I am doing more. I teach a little bit part-time. But as far as playing in projects that I really am excited about, I don't do enough of.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd like to do more. But I have been pretty consistently involved with one or two things ever since the Minus Chad band was
Right.
happening. So,
Right.
but it's hard to put the guitar down for musicians.
Now, have you guys prior to tonight? And it sounds like you got together. I mean, have you guys played together since since Minus Chat, other than tonight?
There's been occasions. Somebody's wedding or something. There'll be a band, and we'll be
Someone
like,
will
"Hey,
sit in.
let's jam!" Yeah, and
Very sporadically though, and never. Last night and the night before we got together and actually said we gotta work on this.
Right.
it was like 15 minutes ago. We were like, "Wow, we really gotta."
Got a radio interview. Yes, we got to pull something together.
Yeah, do something. But we've always operated like that.
Yeah, I mean,
When we were recording in a studio, a lot of that would come by the minute. We have a lot of studio time under our belts together.
Oh, yeah.
And I can remember being outside at 12 o'clock at night when he's laying down a track or listening to a track, writing lyrics on newspaper outside because the producer's like, "You're mumbling, I can't understand you. Do you have lyrics for this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I'll show you."
Of course,
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Just gotta write them.
Yeah, I remember being there at was it Thunder in Sky? When
Yeah.
you guys recorded there.
Yeah,
Plus, you used to record some stuff at home, right, in the barn, if I
Yep.
remember
a
correctly.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Thundering Sky was the first time we went to a studio where the dude at the studio was really involved and really kind of helped us. It was really more of a producer, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where we made the best recordings. ever.
He really pushed us to. I mean, because it was his name on there, he wouldn't just let it,
Yeah,
go.
right, exactly.
Which is great for us. It's the best recording that we've ever done.
Yeah.
Is he? Do you know if he's still there? Is that studio still there? A lot of studios have come and gone.
I'm not sure if he is. I've heard rumors on both ends. I haven't actually driven
He's in the
over
area. I saw Chris Magruder somewhere in Portsmouth a couple of years ago. I know he's
there.
around.
Wherever he is,
Yeah.
he's definitely doing something with music. Does he have his studio? Does he record there? I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it was a beautiful. You remember, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And the way it was set up and the atmosphere produced a lot of really great stuff for us.
He must still be doing.
I can only imagine.
Because
So professional. And
Well, plus too, I think his name came up recently on the show. I don't remember Thunder and Sky coming up recently on the show, but I think his name specifically came up, because I always ask people, where did you record this, who produced it and whatnot. So, why don't we hear another song? I always loved hearing you guys play live, so this is great. What do you want to what do you want to play next?
it's another new one. It's called February, and it's very recent.
Oh, very cool. Like how recent?
Probably in February.
February. All right, February of last year.
At least that's when it started in my head.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so this is February. This is Kevin Schurman and Jeremy Morse, formerly of Minus Chad, here on Local Outbreak on IPMNation.com.
It's been a long time since I've sang, so
Really? Yeah.
excuse my voice if it's off key.
No, sounds good.
Scratchy.
I'll walk alone, very weary. I feel the wind and I start to think. What went right and what went wrong. And then my time has come. So now more, one day I'll be gone. Then you find that you move on. Please don't forget all the lessons that you told. And then one day, someday will come. But until someday, I spent the year watching them when you went wrong. But until someday, I spent the year singing about just what went wrong. And I'll be gone. And then one day while you're walking along, you'll feel that stain, it's all February cold. You like to think it was right, yeah, where you went wrong. And now your time has come. So now more, one day I'll be gone. Then you find that you'll move on. Oh, please don't forget all the lessons that you've done. And then one day, someday will come. But until someday, you'll spend years making up for when you're gone. Yeah, until someday, you'll spend years making up for what went wrong.
Local Outbreak on IPMNation.com. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We are here at the studio as we record the show every Tuesday night. So we love to have a studio audience if people want to come on down and check it out while we're recording. And, of course, we air every Sunday night at 10 p.m. on 100.1 The Planet. So if you're in central New Hampshire, you can hear it on 100.1 The Planet. New Hampshire's Real Rock every Sunday night at 10 p.m. And, of course, we do archive all the shows at IPMNation.com/local outbreak. And I think as long as I've known you guys, is this the first time I've ever actually interviewed you for a radio show?
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah. Wow,
And
weird.
Most of the time we've been, it's been conversations like, what?
Right.
Oh, right.
Clanking glasses.
Oh, hi, Matt.
Right, right.
See you at the show.
Now, do you keep in touch with anybody who was in Minus Chad? I mean, obviously, Kevin, your brother, was in the band.
Yeah, I don't really see him that much.
Really? Yeah.
He's busy too. I think I haven't talked to him in.
Is he still in the area? Or?
Yeah, I think he lives in Hooksett.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing the girl getting married thing too.
Is he?
so.
Wow.
I see Joel a lot.
Okay.
He's in
Yeah.
there, and then once in a while I'll get a random text from Taylor
Oh, really? Yeah.
or a Facebook message, and he'll.
I hope he's a phenomenal bass player. I hope he's doing something. Yeah.
I think he is, and we would love to have him back. As if we end up going through and building,
Right.
you
Right.
know, up a band again.
Yeah, yeah. People are going to wonder, so I have to ask you. I mean, I know this story, but where did the name Minus Chad come from? People are learning of you for the first time. Are going to be wondering, what is that Minus Chad?
Well, we had a guy that we went to high school with. When we were in high school, we had several versions of this band. There was always the same core 4 people. And
At times with a very large ensemble.
yeah, could be
Yeah.
a ton of people, could be 4 people. But it was a high school band nonetheless. So we ended up settling on a guy who played guitar, but we made him play the bass for us because we had no bass player, and his name was Chad. And he didn't see things eye to eye. He was not really. Jeremy and I didn't get.
We had many differing viewpoints. on
Differing
many-
viewpoints as well.
Creative differences.
Absolutely. Creative, stylistic.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a swell guy, but
Great guy.
You know.
Yeah.
Great guy. The nicest guy in the world. If you were on the street, he would definitely give you a coat and $1 and
Wow.
and send you on
Would
your
he
way.
do that?
I don't know, maybe. I think
I don't know how
he
many
would.
dollars he has.
But
Somebody did that for me once. I wonder if that was him.
It was
That might have been him. I probably met him and didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, "Why are you? I already have a coat. What are you doing? I don't need $1. What's this?" But
No, go on
that's
your way.
that's the kind of guy he was.
it is. God bless Chad.
Yeah.
Anyways, we ended up finally moving on from Chad, and Jeremy and I just did acoustic stuff for a long time after that.
Yeah.
We would get together, feels like almost nightly, and record in my little funky Northwood house. You went there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And we had the little board set up with Nicey, who would run the sound for us, and that's where a lot of those songs that when we finally formed the band came from. Is just hours and hours of Jeremy and I experimenting
We really
and
had
playing.
the time to do that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
great.
So when we finally ended up getting the pieces to the puzzle together, we needed a name, and we really just thought it would be great to name the band Minus Chad because of how much we disliked him. Not really disliked him, but
Right. Because he's a great guy. I mean, anyone who gives you a
great guy.
a coat and $1, I mean,
He had a good
you can't
sense of
you can't
humor
dislike
about
him.
it,
So he knew and
He loved. I think he loved the fact that he was, used as the band's name.
so he was a
inspiration.
narcissist, in other words.
Absolutely.
Great guy,
Yes.
but a
As
narcissist.
narcissistic as they come.
That doesn't make you a bad guy.
No. Because he's going to be listening to this.
Absolutely.
Because if he finds out about it, he's going to be like, oh, I wonder if they talk about me because he's a narcissist.
Right.
I'm not giving those guys my coat and $1. At least if they don't talk about me, I won't.
That's right. It would be on the street and he'll just walk by. But that's how it is. So we moved on from him, and then we needed a band name, and we thought that was fitting, and it was a great story to tell people.
Yeah.
It was told with a lot more vulgarities back then.
I remember, yeah.
And naming bands is really hard. Like, it's so easy to come up with such a stupid name. You think, oh, this is the coolest name anybody's ever had, and then you say it, and someone, really? So when we finally settled on a name that like everybody thought kind of worked, we were just relieved and kept it. So
it's the same way with naming songs. Anything that has to do with that marketing aspect, it's just my brain does not want to even go there.
Right. Well, with a name like Mine is Chad, though, I mean, it's good to pick a name where you're reasonably certain that you're not going to find out eventually online or something. So somebody already is using this name and legally has it. It's. Who would think of Mine is Chad? That's pretty.
It's a very
original
name.
I'm always reminded of. You guys might have heard me tell this story back in the day. I had a friend I went to high school with. Actually, he's well known by musicians around here. Xander Carlson. He's a guitar player. Currently, he plays in a band. He's in a Van Halen tribute band called Balance. But so I tell this story not to embarrass Xander if he hears this, but years ago. I had run into him after a few years of not seeing him, and he was telling me about he was in a new band. And he tells me the name of the band, and it's Intuition. And he says it, and I didn't say anything. I was polite, but I'm thinking, oh, come on. Somebody's already got that. It's just way too obvious. It's like naming your band, Journey or something. Somebody's already got that. Yeah. And then sure enough, I talked to him again like 3 or 4 months later, and I was like, so how's the band? And he's like, oh, good, but we had to change our name. And, it turned out somebody already had the name, and I'm thinking, yeah, of course they did.
Yeah. I mean, it's a word in the dictionary.
It's just way too obvious.
It's funny though. There's so many people that do this.
Oh yeah.
That, especially as you're younger, you're in such a small bubble.
Yeah.
Of thinking that you're unique as an artist, really, and then as you grow up, you're like,
I think
I'm terrible at everything I do.
We could probably come up with a really great name for a band just using the items in this shop.
Sure.
I'm seeing like Cashbox, World Class Junk, lots of great items in here.
One thing we were going is Ted's Road to Nowhere, as we were kicking around.
Really, yeah?
Ted's Road to Nowhere. You remember? Or maybe it was your brother.
That sounds...
Because
just as dumb as...
Because I remember you guys would talk about changing the name.
Yeah.
And I was always like, no, you shouldn't do that. But you guys would talk about it once in a while. It's like you'd get restless with the name Mine is Chad.
We were restless about everything.
Yeah.
Something had to change.
Yeah.
Well, it came with a stigma. We had a style that we couldn't get. I remember I would make CDs and bring them to you like, this is new, and you'd be like, yeah, well, it sounds like you. And you're like, God,
right?
I don't want to sound like me anymore.
Right. No, but your songwriting does have a certain, and it's a good thing. I mean, there's something distinctive about it.
Yeah, it drove me crazy for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get out of my own style because everybody's their own worst critic.
I remember going to your house and you had started doing a lot on the piano.
Yeah, I'm still working on the piano a lot.
You'd written. I remember you showing me a bunch of songs that you'd written on the piano, and it was like, yeah, that's cool. You're playing the piano instead of the guitar, but it still sounds like you.
Yeah.
It's always going to sound like you.
Yep. I'm still working a lot with the piano.
Yeah.
A lot of my new songs are there. It's just easier for me to write. I think
really?
It's just because I spent the beginning of my writing career on the guitar, and
yeah,
something different.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
I feel like I have less limitations on the piano.
Yeah.
It might sound awful, but...
Do you, Jeremy, I mean, of course, you play guitar. Do you play anything else? I feel like, is there another instrument that you play?
Not well.
No?
Guitar is the only instrument that I really excel at. If you can call it that. I probably shouldn't say excel. It sounds a little conceited. It's the only instrument that I'm at home on.
You're very humble.
You can edit out that part. Yeah, no, and it's kind of stupid because I went into music education, but I can't really play anything well, but, I can direct people on other instruments.
Right. You went to Plymouth State?
Yes, I did. Yeah, it's a top school in the nation for music educators.
Yeah.
It's probably the number one, I think. And last year it was between Juilliard, Berkeley, and Plymouth State, and I think Plymouth State was on top of that heap.
Yeah. Well, even if it's not, let's go with it.
Yeah.
It's not like people are going to look it up. you
Right.
know?
Check it. He's so humble about his guitar playing, isn't he?
He is. He always was. Yes.
I hate playing with him. It just makes me angry. I couldn't ever do that.
Right. Right.
I don't know. Sometimes you play things that I'm like, I should reassess and do things more like that
I
sometimes.
just hit the wrong note more often.
It's easy to play too many notes, and you in general don't do that.
Because I don't know too many.
That's okay.
Well, speaking of playing, let's hear another song. What do you guys want to play?
This is one that's a little bit older.
Oh,
It doesn't have a name either.
and it's an older one, huh?
Yeah, it's not older, but it's, well, it is. I don't think we ever did it with Minus Chat or anything.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't really have a name.
Maybe Jeremy can name it based on things in this store.
Okay.
I would avoid the cat. You mentioned use the word Cashbox earlier, though. I'd avoid that because it's too hip hop.
Well,
You
I
said
don't
something
know.
like Cashbox World or something.
Well, there is a cash box here, and I keep gravitating towards it. It might be just the visual, it's the most popping item on that shelf. So,
How about what are you saving up for?
There you- ooh,
yeah. Or the disappearing Cheshire Cat is pretty good.
Ooh.
over
That's
there,
perfect. We'll call it that.
the disappearing Cheshire Cat.
Done.
which can be bought at 50 Canal Street.
All right, so Kevin Schurman and Jeremy Morse. This is the I already forgot the disappearing Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, that's it.
The disappearing Cheshire Cat live at the studio here on Local Outbreak on IPMNation.com.
Myself up.
In the cold, in the back of the sea, alone, back of the boom, it's the whole damn road again. It's a trade, it's a big mistake in the back, in the hole in the side, it's all over again. And the sunshine, oh, oh, looks like rain. Looks like rain. Is this your passion? Oh, your pain. It's inside everyone, it's the back of the mind, it's the taste and the lean, it's the meaning I call it fate. What you done, what you hid when you went all the way, left me here with your little mistake you made, and I'm alright.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here with Kevin Schurman and Jeremy Morse from formerly of Minus Chad. They've been playing tonight acoustic for us here at the studio at 50 Canal Street. And I'll just remind you, of course, we do record the show here every Tuesday night at the studio. Please support your local businesses. Very, very important if you're in central New Hampshire. And the studionh.com is a website if you want to check it out online. And of course, we are sponsored by Central NH Events. The equipment that I'm using right now is courtesy of Tim Martin at Central New Hampshire Events. CentralNHEvents.com is the website. Tim does a great job. He'll DJ your shindig, your hootenanny, and whatever other kind of event you might be doing. CentralNHEvents.com. He reminded me recently, of course, we have the shindig discount. Use the word shindig. You have to actually use it in a sentence when you contact him, and he'll give you a discount. How much of a discount, I have no idea. Probably depends on the shindig. And, of course, we do archive all the shows at IPMNation.com/local outbreak, and you can hear a new episode every Sunday night at 10 p.m. on 100.1 The Planet. And, guys, this has been great. So, is there anything online currently where people can find your stuff, or are you still kind of wading back into maybe getting something together? Or
I mean, they could do a Google search probably of Minus Chad. I'm sure there's something floating around out there.
Yeah.
Of old recordings from
Minus Chad was like pre-internet, though, so I don't know if there's anything.
I think we had a MySpace page. Taylor put it together.
Yeah, I know you had something.
That's overrun by fornicating caterpillars. I saw that like a year or two ago.
Oh, that's what you should have called that song. Oh, now you say it. Well, it's too late now.
I'm not sure. I think that you have some of my older
it's on you,
solo
Matt.
stuff.
Yeah, actually, that's
You
mentioned it. Yeah,
have everything that we've ever done.
I do.
Just contact Matt Connor.
Yeah, just contact me.
Right now, I mean, I really do want to start getting out and playing more and maybe recording. Jeremy has some recording equipment, and Joel does, his brother. So.
Oh, yeah, we have the means. So, if the project really does start again and we're productive, then there'll be material somewhere in cyberspace, I'm sure.
The problem is we're lazy. We're lazy people.
Well, and, I don't know about you, but I'm really stupid with the internet, so...
I'm very stupid with the internet.
Lazy and stupid don't make...
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
But we'll be working on it.
All right, very good.
We'll get right on that.
All right, and you're gonna play one more track for us to close
Sure.
out?
Why don't you pick one from the old catalog?
Oh, really?
Put it out, and you get to pick it.
Oh, wow.
'Cause, we only practiced a couple.
Well, do you remember what my favorite Minus Chad song of all time is?
Yeah, I do. I think I do. Criminal, right?
That was my favorite. That was always my favorite. Are you?
We'll see if we can remember.
See if you can pull it off.
Sure.
All right. And if you can't, then when I edit this together, I'll put in the studio version because I have it.
All right.
So if it's really a train wreck.
So all right. So
please enjoy the studio recording. Me and Kevin.
all right. This is Kevin Schurman and Jeremy Morris live at the studio with Criminal here on Local Outbreak on IPMNation.com.
Anything you because you love me doesn't mean that we should still be friends. I don't want to be your criminal. I don't want to be your only one. I don't want to be your criminal. I don't want to be anyone or anything to you. Oh, now you push me way too far. Oh, now I've been bad. Oh, now you push me way too far. Oh, now I've been bad. Just because you love me doesn't mean that you should stay. Just because you love me doesn't mean that we should still be friends. I don't want to be your criminal. I don't want to be your only one. I don't want to be your criminal. I don't want to be anything when I want you. No, 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 no. Anyone you. No, 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 no. I don't want to be your criminal. No, I don't want to be anything to you.
IPMNation.com.